I never imagined the day would come when I'd look my own mother in the eyes and feel nothing but a quiet, hollow ache where love used to live. My name is Zara Ahmed. I'm 29 years old, born and raised right here in Islamabad. The older twin by exactly 7 minutes. My sister Zainab and I grew up in the same modest two-bedroom flat near F10, sharing the same faded blue curtains, the same school uniforms, and the same plate of aloo paratha every morning. But somehow, from the very first breath, Amy saw only one of us. Zainab was the soft one, the pretty one, the one who needed protecting. I was the sturdy one, the responsible one, the one who could manage without extra help. Life before the crack appeared felt almost normal. I worked as a senior accountant in a small firm in Blue area, came home every evening to the smell of Amy's slow-cooked nahari and the sound of Papa's old radio playing ghazals. Zainab still lived at home, jumping from one creative job to another. Social media influencer 1 month, boutique owner the next. I didn't mind. I had my own savings account, a quiet fiancé named Bilal who taught physics at a nearby college, and a wedding planned for December. We weren't rich, but we had scraped together nearly 8 lakh rupees over 3 years. It was my wedding fund, tucked away in a separate account I called Zara's New Beginning. Every time I transferred my salary bonus into it, I felt a small, secret pride. This money was going to give us a simple Mendy at home, a modest haul, and enough left over for a short trip to Murray. It was mine. It was ours. Then the first small clue slipped in, quiet as a shadow. One Sunday evening I came home early from work and found Amy and Zainab huddled over the dining table, whispering. The moment they saw me, the papers disappeared under a newspaper. Zainab's eyes were red, like she'd been crying. Amy smiled too brightly and said, "Beta, Zainab's just having one of her low days. You know how sensitive she is." I nodded, swallowed the uneasy feeling, and went to heat up the leftover korma. Later that night I heard them in the kitchen again. Low voices, the clink of teacups, Zainab saying, "Amy, I don't know how I'll ever repay you." Amy shushed her gently. "Don't worry, Mary John. What's mine is yours." I told myself it was nothing. Sisters need each other. Mothers comfort the fragile one. I had Bilal, I had my job, I had my fund. But the next week my bank sent an SMS alert I wasn't expecting. A large transfer had gone out of the joint family account Amy still controlled, the one where I had deposited my wedding savings for safekeeping because the interest rate was better. The balance was almost zero. 8 lakh rupees gone. My hands started shaking so hard I dropped my phone on the kitchen floor. The screen cracked, but I barely noticed. I stared at the alert again and again, the numbers blurring. I told myself there had to be a mistake. Amy would never, Zainab would never, but deep down, in that cold place between my ribs, I already knew. That night I couldn't sleep. The fan above my bed spun lazily, pushing warm Islamabad air across my face. But the chill inside me wouldn't leave. I kept replaying every small moment from the past months. How Amy had started buying Zainab new clothes, just because. How Zainab suddenly had money for expensive salon appointments and weekend trips to Lahore with her friends. I had thought it was Papa helping her again. I was wrong. The next morning I waited until Papa left for the mosque and confronted Amy in the kitchen. The smell of frying onions hung heavy in the air. She was stirring the tea, her dupatta slipping off one shoulder the way it always did when she was tired. "Amy?" I said quietly, my voice steadier than I felt. "Where's my wedding fund?" She froze for half a second, then turned with that same soft, tired smile she used whenever Zainab was upset. "Beta, don't start this drama so early. Zainab needed it more. You're strong, you can earn again. Your sister, she had an opportunity. A boutique in G11. She needed capital to start properly. We'll return it slowly, inshallah." My chest tightened. Amy, that was my money. Mine and Bilal's. 3 years of saving. You took it without asking. Zainab walked in then, still in her nightclothes, hair messy. She looked at me with those big, innocent eyes that had always worked on everyone. "Zara API, please don't make Amy cry." I was desperate. The landlord was threatening to throw me out of the shop space. "You have a good job. Bilal earns well. I have nothing stable. Amy only helped because she loves us both. Loves us both." The words tasted bitter. I looked at my mother, the woman who had carried us both, who had bandaged my knees and sung lullabies to Zainab when she had nightmares. In that moment I saw the truth so clearly it hurt to breathe. Zainab had always been the favorite, the one who got the bigger piece of cake, the new shoes, the gentle scolding instead of anger. I was the one expected to understand, to sacrifice, to be the good daughter. Bilal came over that evening. We sat on the small balcony, the distant call to prayer drifting from the mosque. I told him everything, my voice cracking only once. He listened quietly, then took my hand. "Zara, we can start over. But you need to decide what kind of family you want to marry into." I nodded, but inside I was breaking. How do you cut out the people who raised you? The confrontation with Zainab came 2 days later. She was in our old room, trying on a new dress Amy must have bought with my money. The fabric shimmered under the tube light. I stood in the doorway and said, "You knew it was my wedding fund. You let her take it." She turned, eyes glistening with easy tears. "API, I'm sorry, but you always land on your feet. I'm the one who struggles." Amy said it was okay. Family helps family, right? I didn't shout. I just felt a strange calm settle over me. Family also respects each other, Zainab. You didn't just take money. You took my trust. That evening I did something I never thought I would. I opened a new separate account, transferred whatever little salary I had left, and started quietly planning. No screaming, no drama in front of Papa. Just cold, quiet resolve. I canceled the big hall booking. I told the caterer there was a delay, and I began saving again, smaller, slower, but mine. I wasn't sure yet what I would do, but I knew one thing. This time I would not be the one who understood and stayed silent. The weeks that followed felt like walking through thick fog in the Margalla Hills. Everything looked the same, but nothing felt familiar anymore. I kept going to work, smiling at colleagues, coming home to the same house that now smelled of quiet betrayal. Papa noticed the tension but said little. He had always been the peacemaker, the one who believed sisters should not fight. Amy avoided my eyes, busying herself with Zainab's new boutique that never seemed to open its doors properly. Zainab posted glowing pictures on Instagram, new outfits, cafe visits, captions about hustle and sisterhood. Each like felt like another small cut. I didn't cry in front of them. Instead, I worked longer hours, skipped lunches to save every rupee, and met Bilal in small parks near his college where we could talk without being overheard. "We'll have a simple nikah," he said one evening, the scent of wet grass after rain around us. "Just family and close friends. No need for show." His kindness made the ache deeper because I knew how much he had dreamed of a proper wedding too. Then came the day everything spilled into the open. It was a Friday evening. Amy had invited some aunties from the neighborhood for tea, women who had known us since we were children. The living room smelled of cardamom chai and fresh samosas. Zainab was showing off fabric samples for her business, laughing loudly. I sat quietly in the corner, sipping my tea, when one of the aunties turned to me with a warm smile. "Zara Beta, when is your big wedding? We're all so excited. Your Amy told us you have such a generous fund saved." The room went still. Amy's hand froze on the teapot. Zainab's smile faltered. I looked at my mother, then at the faces waiting for an answer. My voice came out calm, almost gentle. "There is no big wedding anymore, Kala. The fund, it's gone." Amy used it for Zainab's boutique. A collective gasp rippled through the room. One auntie set her cup down with a soft clink. Another whispered, "Hi Allah." Amy's face turned pale. "Zara, this is not the time." "No, Amy," I said, still quiet. "This is exactly the time. Everyone here has watched us grow up. They deserve to know why my wedding is now just a small nikah in the courtyard. Why I'm starting from zero again at 29. Zainab's eyes filled with tears. Real ones this time, I think. "API, please, it was a loan. I was going to return it." I looked at her, really looked. "A loan you never asked for and never mentioned. You took my future because you knew Amy would always choose your tears over my plans." The aunties shifted uncomfortably. One older woman, known for her sharp tongue, spoke up. "Aisha," she said to Amy, using her first name, "favoring one child over the other is a sin. You have broken your daughter's trust. How will you face Allah on Judgment Day?" Papa walked in at that moment, drawn by the raised voices. When he heard the truth, his shoulders slumped. He didn't shout. He just looked at Amy with deep disappointment and said, "We raised them together. How did it come to this?" The consequences spread quickly in our tight-knit Islamabad community. Whispers followed Amy at the local market. Zainab's so-called friends stopped visiting once they realized the capital had come from her sister's wedding money. The boutique dream quietly faded. The shop space was returned to the landlord. Zainab started helping at home more, her confidence cracked. Amy began cooking my favorite dishes again, trying in small, awkward ways to reach out. But the warmth between us had changed. It would take years, maybe never fully return. Bilal and I had our simple nikah 2 months later. Just 20 people, fairy lights in the courtyard, the scent of jasmine in the air. No grand stage, no expensive lehenga. But when he slipped the ring on my finger and whispered, "We build our own future now," I felt something heal inside me. Today I still live close to my parents, but I keep healthy boundaries. I've rebuilt my savings slowly, honestly. Zainab and I speak politely, but the easy sisterhood of childhood is gone. Amy sometimes looks at me with regret in her eyes. I don't hate her. I pity the blindness that made her choose favoritism over fairness. Life taught me this: blood ties are strong, but trust is fragile. When someone breaks it, you don't have to scream or destroy them. Sometimes the quietest consequence living with the truth exposed is the heaviest. I chose dignity over drama. I chose my peace over their comfort. And in the end, that choice gave me something no amount of money could buy: self-respect. This is my story of broken trust, but also of quiet strength.